Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo. So I'm pretty sure most of you guys have already seen my arena video of Beth, as well as my main videos talking about the prowess of Beth in terms of arena. Beth is definitely one of the stronger units in the arena, and she have definitely won my heart in terms of a sexy character design. However, is Beth worthy of your investments? Without further ado, let us find out in today's video on how worthy is Beth potentially. We will evaluate Beth based on the below format. We'll look at her story, her stats, her skills, and her exclusive weapon. We'll also be playtesting the hero to see her strengths and weaknesses in terms of attack animation. We'll also do some simple Colosseum and arena meta analysis, and also some PvE discussion to round off the character. And lastly, we'll end the video with some final thoughts and opinions on my end. Beth is a magician within the Invaders and a rather high-ranking priest in the Order itself. She's a master strategist which values brain over brawn, and she crafts her plan carefully while predicting and reacting to her opponent's move. She's cunning, strategic, and very good at acting, as it can be seen in her posing as Penny, who was loved by everyone within the Ra Empire Canterbury refugee camp. So she betrayed everyone's trust and love for her, and she sacrificed many of them without hesitation in order to carry out her invasion plans. Like many of the invaders, the Savior's prophecy is a maxim to Beth herself. She learned and preached the words of the Savior, and she trained really hard in order to reclaim the world. Beth has got to be one of the toughest foes for the Guardian, as she is one of the key leaders within the ranks of the invaders. She's both smart and strong, and she's definitely a very sexy character as well. Beth is 10 in terms of attack, 4th in terms of defense, 12th in terms of crit hit chance, and 29th in terms of HP. Her party buff is melee attack plus 50%, and her chain skill, Dark Invasion, deals a 400% range damage DPS to the opponent while increasing her melee attack by 40% for 8 seconds. Her special ability, Battle Instinct, increases her attack from 15% to 60% while decreasing the incoming damage taken from 15% to 60% based on the number of enemies within a 3 tile radius. Overall, Beth has pretty mediocre stats all around. However, her overall kit is what makes her really powerful. Her melee attack buff plus 50% is without a doubt the strongest buff that you can get for a full melee team, and her chain skill, Dark Invasion, gives her the flexibility to fight in dungeons with dual immunity, as her normal attack deals melee damage while her chain skill deals range damage. The melee attack buff by 40% from her chain skill also means that she has a lot of burst potential. The Battle Instinct, which is her special ability, increases her damage output while decreasing the damage she takes when fighting more enemies within a very confined space. So all this, combined with her EX weapon, which we are going to discuss later, will make her a monster under a 1v1 setting. Her EX weapon, Predator, increases crit hit chance, defense, skill damage, and HP. Other than that, it allows her to decrease dark type resistance by 20% for 3 seconds on her normal attacks while generating a shield by 10% of the inflicted damage upon enemies. So this skill means that Beth is able to minimize the disadvantage that she gets from the resistance immunity while boosting the damage that she dish out when fighting against enemies which are neutral to her element. At the same time, the more damage that Beth deals, the more shield she can generate when damaging enemies. This makes her a monster if you have a high enough DPS, as she will be able to constantly regenerate the shield while inflicting damage on the opponent. The weapon skill, Predator Strike, deals a high amount of DPS with a decent amount of regen time. It also has a very big AoE and a pretty quick animation, which allows you to perform animation cancel very easily. For her normal attack, Beth will first charge towards the enemy and perform her first slash. So the first slash will result in an energy beam which is able to deal damage within a 3 to 4 box range. She will then follow up with 4 slashes, and all her attacks are able to deal AoE damage around her, which is crazy when facing many enemies surrounding Beth. She's also able to auto-target her enemy, as she will charge in the direction where the enemy is present, so it's auto-homing in terms of her targeting mechanics. Her attacks are really quick, and she's able to slash her enemy in many quick succession, which complements her basic ability of generating shield when hitting the enemy. When equipped with her EX weapon, you can see that she will deal a dark resist down, which is reflected in the blue color animation on the enemies on screen. So lastly, for Beth's weapon skill, she will charge towards the enemy and slam the floor, dealing damage within a very big AoE. It usually takes around 2 to 3 weapon skill in order to completely crowd control your enemies. Moving on to the Colosseum and Arena meta-analysis. So let us start with the Arena first. Looking at the leaders board, we can see that Beth has made a significant impact in terms of the arena, and this is because she's simply one of the strongest 1v1 characters around. Elemental advantage means very little to her. She's able to remove the difference using her Dark Resist down from her Predator skill. With the Dark Resist down, it means that she deals even more damage to normal units, and therefore I can conclude that she's one of the best units to deal with Naris in the game right now. Due to her fast attacking attack intervals, she is able to generate lots of shield constantly, and that's really good against units with very slow attack interval such as Bianca or Bari. I dare say that Beth has quite literally no counter in the arena right now. However, there are still ways to deal with her within arena. Number one choice to deal with her is to run a mirage of light units in order to control her in the 1v1 setting by winning her on the elemental advantage side. The second option is to run units with very high DPS in order to burst her before she's able to deal insane damage to you while regenerating her shield. And moving on to the Colosseum. Unfortunately, due to the weakness of warrior AI or melee AI in the Colosseum in general, even though Beth has a pretty decent special ability when dealing with multiple enemies within a small map, she's unable to perform her full potential because she will usually dive towards the tanks like all other melee units, and she will die to range damage output coming from Garum or Baris. What about other PvE content then? So in content where it's AI controlled, similar to Akayuki, Beth isn't really very good because the AI of warrior units is simply very bad in the current game setting. Beth is one of the best units within the guild raids as she does an insane amount of damage, and the dark resistance down from her weapon allows her to increase the overall damage output coming from mono dark teams. At the same time, you can also build her with melee teams, and she's definitely one of the stronger raid characters as she's able to tank through most of the boss attack while dealing insane amount of damage due to her weapon ability. Here are some reasons for you to invest in Beth the Dark Magician. So in conclusion, Beth is an SS tier unit for PvP content, and I would like to rate her somewhere between the S to SS tier for PvE content as well. She is one of the best melee attackers right now, and she's one of the queens of the arena meta. She's also one of the best answers to one of the stronger arena units, which is Naris. So if you are having a hard time dealing with Naris, then do consider pulling for Beth in order to counter her very heavily. In game modes where you're able to control her as your main leader, she's without a doubt one of the best units to use, as she has self-sustainability coming from her shield regenerative ability, as well as dark resist down, meaning that she can output a lot of damage just simply on her own. At the same time, she's also one of the more flexible unit as she's able to attack from the melee spectrum as well as the range spectrum coming from her chain skill. This makes her really good in dungeons with dual immunities as well. So how worthy is Beth potentially? You guys should know my answer by now, as I feel that Beth is really yet another super OP unit that's released by Kakao Gaming. She is good in pure melee teams or pure dark teams, and she's also very good if you're just using her on her own, because she's a very self-sustainable unit. At the same time, her design and backstory is really Fuyo to me. So if you guys know me, Fuyo means the best waifu tier list, and I'm definitely pulling Beth on my main account. So will you invest in Beth when she's released in the global server next week? Let me know down in the comment section below, and thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell in order to see more content from Zeeebo Gaming. And that's all from me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.